Most dirt bike riders, or should I say motorcycle riders, are looking for one thing, which is speed. Yes, modern motorcycles can go fast, but can you make them go even fast by adding a turbocharger? The short answer is yes. You can add a turbo to most motorcycles with the correct kit, but have you wondered why only a few factory motorcycles come with a turbo? It is because motorcycle speed is already enough to even think of adding a turbo. But still, the good news is that you can turbocharge your motorcycle, however. There are some things you should know before going through the process of turbocharging your bike, such as turbo lag, how turbo works, and also some of the dangers that are associated with turbocharged bikes. Fitting a turbo on a dirt bike. Adding a turbo to your dirt bike requires a lot of work and is not even necessary. First of all, dirt bikes do not have enough space capacity to fit a turbo. You will have to reduce your dirt bike fuel tank size to even stand a chance, and on top of that, by adding a turbo you are adding more weight to your dirt bike, because a dirt bike turbo weighs around 100 pounds, 45 kilograms. Possibly this is the most common reason why it doesn't work out well for the rider. If you are looking to add more speed to your motorcycle, you can simply go up with an engine size or even switch to a race-ready manufacturer like KTM. Most riders become too much excited about the power prospects and forget that their motorcycles are already fast enough. If your main goal is to add more speeds, then these gains may not eventuate with a turbo, as you cannot get enough weight on that rear tire to keep it from breaking ground. The turbocharger on dirt bike. As we have said that dirt bikes don't need turbochargers to perform well, in manufacturers such as KTM, Yamaha, and Honda it is not profitable to fit turbos onto their dirt bikes, even for motocross or enduro racing. Nothing has developed in the mainstream market, however. There are prototypes and homemade versions with turbochargers. Even though you can add a turbo to a dirt bike, keep in mind that a turbocharger is a forced induction device. Forced induction forces air into the engine, then efficiency and power increased. In the matter of the turbo, the motorcycle exhaust energy is recovered and passed through a turbine, and this forces more air into the engine. It can be done with atmospheric pressure only. The pros of turbocharger on a dirt bike. Adding a turbo to your motorcycle will increase power and become more efficient, which results in added speed. We do see drag bikes with turbo, but it's very rare to see motorcycles with turbos. You will most see turbo in custom motorcycles rather than factory motorcycles, meaning it is possible to add a turbo to your dirt bike. You can even find some kits online that can be added to your dirt bike. If you have never customized any bike before, we suggest doing the process with your mechanic to find the right kit for your bike, because not all kits will work on all motorcycles. Turbo is a common feature that you can even find in modern sports cars and race cars. The cons of turbocharger on a dirt bike. There's a good reason why turbo is not often installed in motorcycles that riders should know before adding turbo in their motorcycles. The bottom end should be strong enough and the bike should have low compression pistons, then the turbo can work on a motorcycle, because if installed incorrectly, the turbo can result in serious damage to the pistons. Unfortunately, not all motorcycles have a strong enough bottom to support turbo. Weight and space become an issue when you add a turbo to your dirt bike. Turbo can make your motorcycle heavier, which results in difficulty to control. It can change the way your bike rides. AMA and motocross rules. If you don't, AMA stands for American Motorcyclist Association. The American Motorcyclist Association Motocross Division is not likely to approve of the notion of turbocharged dirt bikes in events. Normally, once something has an unexpected successful time in each racing season, that same thing is rolled out into mainstream dirt motorcycles through stores across the country. As a result, the large result in taking these mainstream is also a large hindrance, and that hindrance is justified. It has not been done due to it is not feasible commercially at scale. If Yamaha and KTM notice any future here, then they do invest a few million, but they have not yet. Dirt motorcycles in both the competitive and recreational landscape are built for linear power delivery. Turbos are not linear, and as a result, dirt bike riders would be frustrated very quickly by the constant breaking of traction. Is a supercharger different from a turbocharger? Technically, a turbocharger is a type of supercharger. All forced induction devices are considered superchargers. The turbocharger was originally known as a turbo supercharger. The main difference between the supercharger and turbocharger is that superchargers are mechanically driven, while the turbocharger relies on the vehicle's exhaust in order to power the compressor, which feeds air to the engine. The supercharger depends on the engine's rotation. It depends on a mechanical system in order to compress air from outside the motorcycle. Superchargers can be either belt-driven or gear-driven. Superchargers and turbochargers. Superchargers usually to be a bit less efficient than turbochargers, but they both add extra weight to a motorcycle and take up space. Superchargers are usually high cost than turbochargers. However, both supercharge and turbocharge are powerful due to the speed they can offer. Companies show that both superchargers and turbochargers are not fast enough to make huge of a difference from other fast motorcycles on the market. Most bike riders have theorized that superchargers can counter some of the issues that turbochargers present. There could be more of a future for bikes with superchargers than turbochargers, but only time will tell. Conclusion. In conclusion, you can turbocharge your dirt bike if you want, however it can be difficult as have explained. There are some service operations that can help you do that. You can find some used dirt bikes with turbo models on Gumtree and Craigslist and Gumtree. However, the gains from these machines are questionable.